Good morning, it's Christy here from Mortgage Choice Ormeau, and today we are at Louisa Miller's house in the beautiful Boyland in the Gold Coast hinterland. So we thought we'd come and chat to her about how she found this beautiful property and how she came to be at Mortgage Choice. So Louisa, how did you come to find this property and move into this area?
Well, I've always been a country girl, so had come from the Southern Highlands of New South Wales,
right.
so come from property, and then came to the Gold Coast where I was born. So like Muriel, I went away and I came back to Porpoise Spit, and so I was living down at Palm Beach, but had been looking at sort of small rural holdings to get back to the country, and Canungra was a great community. I got a sense of when I came to visit, but with the proximity to be able to get to work or get to the Gold Coast and so on and so forth. So lots of hunting around in the area, and I've got family living nearby as well. So
That's right.
yeah, it's great. I love it.
It's a very beautiful outlook. It's worth the drive, hey?
Absolutely,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
worth that little bit of drive to get
the only
to work.
trouble about it is having to leave, because I don't
That's
want to leave.
Yeah. So when you were looking for a place out here, did you just go on the internet, or did you
Yes,
connect
that
with
was
a real estate agent? Or?
That was my first point of, I think everyone nowadays, it's their first point of contact, and you do a search. I had a filter and an alert set. So if anything came up within a certain radius, I'd get an alert, then I'd make a follow-up, an inquiry, and then one after the other, there'd be inappropriate or the wrong size or too much money, or so, work it down. But then there's specialised real estate agents up here. I noticed that, there's a couple there's one at Tamborine, there's another in Canungra.
Yeah.
So you're not dealing with that kind of big, huge corporate real estate juggernaut. It's quite a nice, more personalised service, and so I think in both instances I was dealing with the principal, because we looked at one other property that we were really interested in as well. That was the principal of the agency, and really, very first name basis, phone calls, weekends, after hours.
Old-fashioned sort of
country.
service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how did you come to be at Mortgage Choice?
Well, a friend of mine, shall we remain nameless? When I said I was looking at it and was just going to get together with the kids, because I'm single, and so at my age was a bit problematic. Banks don't really like old ladies on their own, so the kids came in with me with a view to ongoing investment and to coming to live here. And I was talking to my friend, and I said, "Well, I don't know, what do you do? Back in the day, you took your bank manager to lunch. That's how old I am. You went to lunch with the bank manager. You shook hands. It was all quite blokey. Well, how do I go around this?" And she said, "Look, I've got this friend Christy. She's at Mortgage Choice. She's fabulous. She's helped us. Here we are."
So it was a process, but we got there in the end. The right property, I think, was the one that eventually all worked out.
100%.
It's funny how things...
At the time, you can't see things are happening for a reason, and
No.
you think you get your heart set on something and it might fall over for one reason or the other, which it did in our instance, no fault of yours. And you think that's it, nothing's ever going to be as good.
Yeah.
And then you come along and I couldn't want for any more.
No, I think it's really beautiful. So that's how we met and became kind of friends.
Because I rang up all the time.
Yes.
Over and over and over. A lot. Don't do that, everyone. Don't do it.
So just touching on the process of the when we initially were contacted by you, Louisa's application wasn't so straightforward because it was in 4 names. It was particular banks that we had to go to.
Yes.
And so tell us from a customer's view.
I think because I came in so naive, I was so naive about the process, and I've never defaulted or never had a bad credit rating, and I feel like I've banked at the same bank for 35 years.
It didn't really matter.
Didn't really matter.
Those
Didn't
times
really.
have changed,
Yes, it didn't really matter, and I came to it with quite like an old school view of what it was. We came in off the back of the Banking Royal Commission, as you well know, which had flipped everything. Banks were nervous. We didn't have a cookie cutter process, approach that they could apply to us.
Yeah, they like you to fit into a square, which was sort of that more old-fashioned type thing. And then nowadays, there's so many variances with people's situations and families, and so that square doesn't really
No,
work.
it's more like a...
star, a hexagon. Or...
Yeah. And I think what our office does well is we made that.
Well,
fit.
you thought
We made
outside
that
the
fit.
square because
Yeah.
you had to, because we didn't fit in the square, so you had to go outside of the
So,
square.
Yeah.
And kind of step me through because I have got control issues. Let's be honest. No, well, it's a big thing, isn't it?
It's
And
huge.
it's
It's a
hard
massive
to hand over
Yeah.
that part of
Yeah.
the process. So you just have to manage me and then manage the bank.
The thing from our perspective was I just kept Louisa in the picture the whole time.
Yes.
And I was just honest with her.
Yeah.
And then,
Yep, wasn't always
then
great
we-
news, but it.
Yeah. And then we got to where you wanted to be at the end of all
Yes.
of that.
So the thing for me was that customer service. It was that that contact, being able to have contact. If I was feeling particularly anxious or whatever, I could ring up, and even if Christy wasn't available, there was other girls in the office who seemed to be able to be across wherever. You could pick up the phone and they'd say, "Hang on, but I'll just check," and
Yeah.
go and check in something, wherever the file or whatever it was, and come back. Oh, look, that's up to here, or we've heard nothing, or
Yeah.
we get back to you, whatever. So there was always someone that I could talk to through the process, which I now see is normal. It just wasn't normal for me because I didn't know.
Yeah. And you know, some applications are really seamless, but they're more straightforward when it was a little bit out of the box.
Well, yeah, I guess it's rural. We had multiple people on the loan.
And that changed during the
during the life. Yeah.
during the
Yeah.
process.
It was.
Yeah.
But now we're
Which we got to the end.
So would you recommend Mortgage Choice Ormeau?
100%.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time and thank you for showing us your beautiful property.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's just around the corner from me, so you know.
Please come back. Saw the lights on, thought I'd drop in.
Yeah.
Probably will never move again, so just have to stay friends or perhaps refinance.